something terrifying is happening right now over the Gulf of Mexico. And if you live anywhere between Texas and Virginia, what I'm about to show you could change everything about your weekend plans. Right at this moment, three deadly atmospheric forces are colliding. Arctic air colder than Antarctica, Gulf moisture at record levels, and a storm system that refuses to move. When these three ingredients mix, history tells us what happens next. And it's not pretty. Wind chills of 60 below zero are already confirmed in the northern states. That S cold enough to freeze exposed skin in under 2 minutes. But here's what nobody's talking about yet. That same Arctic blast is racing south at 30 miles per hour, and it's heading straight for your neighborhood. Within the next 96 hours, this Arctic air mass will crash into moisture levels we haven't seen since the catastrophic winter storms of January 2024. Remember those? Schools closed for a week, power grids failed, roads turned into ice skating rinks. That wasn't just bad luck, it was physics. And the exact same physics is setting up again, right now. Comment below where you are watching from and I'll tell you exactly when this storm will hit your area. Seriously, drop your city name in the comments right now because what I am seeing on these forecast models, some of you need to start preparing today, not tomorrow, today. Most winter storms move, they blow through in 12 to 18 hours. This one, the computer models are showing something we rarely see. A stalled boundary. That means this storm could sit in one place for 72 hours or more. Imagine snow falling continuously for 3 days straight. We are talking 1 to 2 inches per hour in some locations. Do the math. That is potentially 36 to 72 inches of total accumulation. 6 feet of snow in places that don't even own snowplows. And here's where it gets worse. The temperature boundary is going to set up right across the Interstate 40 corridor that runs from New Mexico through Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, and into North Carolina. 70 million Americans live along that corridor. North of the line, you get snow, lots of it. South of the line, you might think you're safe with just rain, but you are not, because here is the twist. When you have warm rain falling from the sky, but the ground temperature is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, that rain doesn't just sit there. It freezes instantly on contact. That's called freezing rain. And it is the most dangerous winter precipitation type there is. A 1/4 inch of ice accumulation will snap tree branches. 1/2 inch will bring down power lines. 1 inch or more, that shuts down entire cities for days. The European model is now showing ice accumulation of over 1 inch across parts of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. During the February 2021 Texas ice storm, some areas got 1/2 inch of ice. The power grid failed, people died. This forecast is showing double that amount. Now, at the 30-second mark, I promised you something valuable. Here it is. I am going to tell you the 3 critical time windows when this storm intensifies. If you can avoid being on the roads during these windows, you dramatically reduce your risk. Ready? Write these down. Window number 1, Friday morning, 6 a.m. to noon Central Time. This is when the Arctic air first collides with Gulf moisture across Oklahoma and Kansas. The temperature will drop 20 degrees in 1 hour. Roads that are wet will turn to ice instantly. Black ice everywhere. This is when the first major accidents will happen. Window number 2, Friday night 6 p.m. through Saturday morning 6 a.m. This is the danger period for Texas, Arkansas, and Tennessee. The storm intensifies overnight when most people are asleep. You will go to bed seeing rain. You will wake up to an ice-covered world. Your car will be encased in ice. And here's the critical part. By the time you realize how bad it is, it's too late to go anywhere safely. Window number 3, Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning. This is when the storm reaches the mid-Atlantic states, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. The models are showing this could be the most intense phase of the entire event. Why? Because by this point, the storm has been feeding on Gulf moisture for over 24 hours. It's like a hurricane, but made of ice and snow instead of rain and wind. But here's something the mainstream weather forecasts aren't telling you yet, and this is huge. The high-pressure system sitting over Canada right now is the strongest we've seen all winter. It's measuring 1,043 millibars. For reference, normal high pressure is 1,013 millibars. Why does this matter? Because that massive high pressure is what's going to lock this storm in place and prevent it from moving. It's like putting a lid on a pot. Everything just intensifies underneath. Now, I know what you're thinking. Weather forecasts are wrong all the time. Why should I believe this one? Fair question. Let me give you some numbers that should wake you up. 48 hours ago, the probability of seeing at least 1 inch of snow in Oklahoma City was 10%. As of this morning, that probability jumped to 78%. That's not a small change. That's 7 computer models all agreeing on the same outcome. When models agree like that 4 to 5 days out, they're usually right about the big picture. The National Weather Service just issued winter storm watches for over a dozen states. That's 95 million people under some type of winter weather alert. Winter storm watches this far in advance mean forecasters are seeing something in the data that genuinely concerns them. Let me break down exactly what's going to happen, hour by hour. And remember, drop your location in the comments because I am tracking this in real time and I can give you specific timing for your area. Starting tonight, Monday night, the first Arctic blast arrives in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Wind chills will crash to 50 below zero. Schools are already announcing closures. This is just the opening act. Tuesday, the Arctic air spreads into Iowa, Illinois, and Michigan. Temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below normal. That cold air is establishing the foundation. It's creating the freezing layer that everything else will build on top of. Wednesday, a weak clipper system moves through the Great Lakes. Maybe an inch or two of snow, but it's positioning all the pieces on the chessboard. Cold air in place, check. Moisture starting to increase, check. Storm track developing, check. Thursday morning, the Pacific moisture stream activates. This is warm, wet air flowing in from the Pacific Ocean, colliding with that Arctic air mass. The battleground will be right across the Central Plains, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. This is when the first snowflakes start falling, but Thursday is also when the Gulf moisture ramps up. The Gulf of Mexico surface temperatures right now are 3 to 4 degrees above normal. Warmer water means more evaporation. More moisture means heavier precipitation rates when the storm fires up. Friday morning arrives. This is game time. By sunrise, snow will already be falling heavily across Kansas and Oklahoma. The models are showing snow rates of 1 to 3 inches per hour during the peak. At that rate, roads become impassable in under 60 minutes. Here's your first major decision point. If you need to travel Friday, you need to be at your destination by Thursday night, period. Once Friday morning hits, driving becomes extremely dangerous. Interstate 35 through Oklahoma and Kansas will likely shut down. Interstate 40 through Texas and Arkansas, same story. Now this is minute 5 and I promised you to get the real value here. So here it is. I'm going to tell you the 5 things you need to buy today, not Friday today, if you live in the impact zone. Because once this storm makes the evening news Wednesday night, stores will be mobbed. Number 1, water. 1 gallon per person per day, minimum 3 days supply. That is 3 gallons per person. Family of 4 needs 12 gallons. If your pipes freeze, you will need this for flushing toilets and basic hygiene. Number 2, non-perishable food, stuff you can eat cold, because there's a very real possibility of extended power outages. Peanut butter, bread, crackers, canned goods with pull tabs so you don't need a can opener if the power is out. Number 3, batteries and flashlights. When ice starts accumulating on power lines, outages become inevitable. The February 2021 Texas storm left 4.5 million people without power, some for over a week. In the middle of winter, in freezing temperatures. Number 4, propane or alternative heat sources. If you have a fireplace, stock up on firewood now. But here's a critical safety note. Never use a gas stove or oven to heat your home. Carbon monoxide poisoning kills people every single winter storm. Don T become a statistic. Number 5, phone charging solutions. Either a car charger or better yet, a battery pack that is already charged. Your phone is your lifeline during an emergency. It's how you'll get updates. It's how you'll call for help if you need it. By Friday afternoon, the snow expands east into Missouri and Arkansas. Little Rock could see its heaviest snow in 5 years. The city basically shuts down with 2 inches. The models are showing 6 to 10 inches possible. But here's where the ice story begins. And this is critical. As that snow pushes east, warmer air tries to push in from the south. You end up with a layer cake of temperatures. Freezing at the surface, warm air a few thousand feet up, freezing again up high where the clouds are. That's the recipe for freezing rain. Friday night, the freezing rain becomes the dominant story across North Texas, southern Oklahoma, and into Arkansas. This is the most dangerous 12-hour period of the entire event. freezing rain falling in the dark. Temperatures in the mid-20s, ice accumulating on everything. The weight of ice brings down trees. Trees fall on power lines. Power goes out. Once the power is out in freezing temperatures, you are in a survival situation, especially if you have elderly family members or young children. This is not a drill. Saturday morning, 2 scenarios are possible. Scenario 1, the European model solution. The storm continues intensifying and spreads heavy snow and ice all the way to the Atlantic coast. 8 to 12 inches of snow possible in the mountains. Ice accumulation from Atlanta northward. Scenario 2, the American GFS model solution. The storm is a little weaker and stays further west. Most of the heavy snow stays in Oklahoma and Missouri. Ice still a major problem in Tennessee and Arkansas. Which scenario is more likely? Right now, 60% chance we see something closer to the European model. 40% chance it is more like the American model. But even in the weaker scenario, we're still talking about a major winter storm affecting 20 to 30 million people. Now, I want to address something important. Some of you are thinking, this guy is fear-mongering. Let me be crystal clear. My goal is not to scare you. My goal is to prepare you. What I'm showing you is based on actual computer model data from the National Weather Service and the European Center. Could the storm fizzle out? Sure. But the risk is real enough that you should prepare. I'd rather you prepare for something that doesn't happen than fail to prepare for something that does. The cost of preparation is inconvenience. The cost of not preparing could be much higher. Let me tell you about the January 2022 North Carolina ice storm. Forecasters knew it was coming, but a lot of people didn't take it seriously. Then the ice came. Over 300,000 people lost power, some for over a week. Temperatures were in the teens and 20s. One woman was trapped in her home for 4 days. She ran out of food on day 2. Her pipes froze on day 3. She melted snow for drinking water. And she said the worst part was feeling completely helpless and unprepared. Don T. be that person. All right, we about halfway through, and I need to show you something that just came through on the latest model run. This is brand new data from the last 3 hours. The storm timing is shifting slightly earlier. What we thought would happen Saturday might now happen Friday night. That's significant because it means less time to prepare. If you are in Texas, Arkansas, or Tennessee, you now have about 72 hours instead of 96 hours before this hits. The ice accumulation forecasts are also increasing. The latest run of the European model is showing 1 to 2 inches of ice possible across a swath from Dallas to Memphis. That's catastrophic ice amounts. Anything over half an inch is considered a major ice storm. 2 inches is historic. That would collapse buildings, bring down major transmission towers. We're talking weeks to restore power. Let me walk you through what to expect in your specific area. And again, comment your location below. If you are in Minnesota, Wisconsin, or the Dakotas, your primary concern is the extreme cold, not the snow. Wind chills of 60 below zero are life-threatening. Exposed skin freezes in under 2 minutes at that temperature. If you have to go outside, you need full face coverage. Multiple layers. Insulated boots. If you in Kansas or Oklahoma, you in the bullseye for heavy snow Friday into Saturday. Current forecasts show 8 to 16 inches possible. But if the storm tracks just 50 miles north or south, those totals could change dramatically. If you are in Texas, northern Louisiana, or Arkansas, ice is your main threat. And ice is so much worse than snow. You can drive in 6 inches of snow if you are careful. You cannot drive on ice. Nobody can. Four-wheel drive doesn't help. Ice is ice. If you are in Tennessee, Mississippi, or Alabama, you are in the uncertain zone. You might get snow, you might get ice, you might get a mix. We wanted to know for sure until Wednesday, but you should prepare for the worst case, which is significant ice accumulation. If you are in North Carolina, Virginia, or Georgia, your weekend is probably going to be messed up regardless. Roads will be icy, temperatures will be well below freezing, and there's a decent chance you see some snow accumulation, especially in the mountains. Now, let's talk about what happens after the storm, because the aftermath could be just as challenging. Sunday and Monday, the Arctic air remains in place. That means any snow or ice that falls isn't melting. High temperatures Sunday and Monday might not get above freezing in many locations. That snow and ice stays on the ground. Roads remain hazardous for days. This is going to have ripple effects. Grocery store deliveries get delayed. Trash doesn't get picked up. Schools are closed Monday and probably Tuesday as well. If you work a job that requires you to physically be there, you might not be able to get there. For people with medical needs, this is extra critical. If you require regular medical treatments, oxygen, prescription refills, handle that before Friday. Do not wait until the last minute. Pharmacies might be closed. Medical offices might be closed. Here's something else people don't think about. Your pets. If you have dogs that need to go outside, ice storms create a dangerous situation. Dogs can slip and injure themselves on ice. Their paws can get frostbite in extreme cold. Have a plan for pet care during the storm. At minute 15, I want to give you a reality check on what life is actually like during a multi-day winter storm with power outages. Hour 1 of a power outage, it's an inconvenience. You find some candles. Hour 6, it's getting cold in the house. Hour 12, your phone battery is dying. Hour 24, your house temperature has dropped into the 40s. Everything in your refrigerator is starting to go bad. Hour 48, you are cold all the time. You are sleeping in multiple layers. Hour 72, you are starting to make hard decisions. Do you burn furniture for heat? Do you try to drive somewhere even though roads are dangerous? This is when people make mistakes that cost them their lives. I'm not trying to scare you. I am trying to make this real. Because when you're warm and comfortable right now, it's easy to think, oh, I'll be fine. But when you're actually in that situation, it's different. Very different. Now, here's the good news. If you prepare properly, you can avoid most of these problems. Heat. If your power goes out, designate one room as your survival room. Usually a smaller room is better because it is easier to keep warm. Hang blankets over the doorways and windows. Body heat from multiple people in a small, insulated space can keep it reasonably comfortable even without power. Food. You don't need fancy survival meals. You need calories. Peanut butter is 4,500 calories per jar and doesn't require refrigeration or cooking. Crackers. Canned soup you can eat cold. Trail mix. Granola bars. Aim for 2,000 calories per person per day, minimum. Water. Fill your bathtub before the storm hits. That's 30 to 50 gallons of water right there. Fill every pot, pitcher, and container you have. Communication. If you have a car, that's a phone charging station. Run your car for 15 minutes every few hours to charge devices. Just make sure the exhaust pipe isn't blocked by snow. Carbon monoxide poisoning kills people every winter. Okay, back to the forecast details, and I've got some new information that just came in. The Weather Prediction Center just upgraded their snow probability maps. Areas that were 50 to 60% probability this morning are now 70 to 80%. That's a significant increase in confidence. When forecaster confidence increases this close to an event, take it seriously. I am now seeing some forecasters throw around the term historic ice storm for parts of Texas and Oklahoma. The February 2007 ice storm in Oklahoma left 600,000 people without power. This forecast is showing similar potential impacts. Here, what really concerns me about ice storms specifically. Snow you can deal with. You shovel it. Ice is different. Ice damages infrastructure. Transmission towers collapse under the weight. It takes weeks or months to repair. The February 2021 Texas storm caused $40 billion in damage. $40 billion, and here's the thing nobody wants to talk about. The Texas power grid is still not fully winterized. ERCOT, the grid operator, made some improvements after 2021, but independent experts say it's still vulnerable. If we get widespread ice accumulation taking down transmission lines at the same time demand spikes, we could see rolling blackouts or worse. I'm not saying this to panic anyone. I am saying this so you understand why preparing is so important. You cannot rely on infrastructure to save you. You have to be self-sufficient for at least 72 hours. Cities right on that temperature boundary include Amarillo, Oklahoma City, Little Rock, Memphis, Nashville, Knoxville, and Raleigh. If you live in or near any of those cities, you are in the highest impact zone. You could see snow, then ice, then more snow. Multiple rounds of dangerous weather over a 3-day period. The thing about winter storms in the South is they shut everything down. Northern states have fleets of snowplows and road crews experienced in winter weather. Southern states don T. So when it does snow, everything stops. And that what about to happen across a region with 70 million people. Let S talk about the economic impact. Supply chains run through these states. Interstate 40 is a major trucking route from coast to coast. When it shuts down, deliveries stop. Interstate 35 runs from Mexico to Canada, also shutting down. Amazon packages aren't getting delivered. Grocery store shipments get delayed. Gas trucks can refill stations. This creates shortages even in areas not directly affected by the storm. The airline industry is already planning for this. American Airlines has its major hub in Dallas. Southwest as biggest hub is also Dallas. Cancellations are coming. If you have travel plans this weekend or early next week, strongly consider changing them now. All right, we at minute 20, and I want to make sure you understand the single most important thing from this entire video. The danger is not just the weather itself. The danger is people underestimating the weather and making bad decisions because of it. Every winter storm, people die in preventable ways. They drive when they shouldn't. They try to use unsafe heating methods. They don't have enough supplies. Do not be that person. Respect the storm. Prepare properly. And once it starts, stay put. Do not try to drive to work through an ice storm. Your job is not worth your life. Do not try to drive to the grocery store because you forgot milk. Milk is not worth your life. The National Weather Service has a saying, turn around, dawn to drown. For winter weather, it should be, stay home, dawn to roam. More people die from car accidents during winter storms than any other cause. Just stay off the roads. Now, what about the extended outlook? What happens after this storm? The long-range pattern shows Arctic air remaining in place through at least the end of January. That means even after this storm passes, temperatures stay below normal. We could see additional winter weather events. The pattern looks active through the first week of February. This is important because it means you are not just preparing for one storm. You were preparing for an extended period of winter weather. If you were going to spend money on supplies, you'll potentially use them multiple times. I am also seeing some signals that early February could bring another significant storm to the eastern United States. It's too far out to have details, but the pattern supports it. So if you on the East Coast and you dodge the bullet this weekend, don't get complacent. Let me give you one more critical piece of information. Emergency services are going to be overwhelmed during this storm. If you call 911, help might not come quickly. Ambulances can drive on ice. Fire trucks can either. This means if you have a medical emergency, you might be on your own for hours. Do you have a first aid kit? Do you know basic first aid? Do you have critical medications on hand? These are essential. Similarly, if you have a house fire, fire departments might not be able to reach you. Do you have working smoke detectors? Fire extinguishers? People use alternative heating during power outages, and that increases fire risk dramatically. Okay, final 5 minutes. Let me give you the action plan checklist. Exactly what you need to do in order starting right now. Step 1. Take this seriously. Share this information with family and friends in the impact zone, elderly relatives especially. They're the most vulnerable and often the least prepared. Step 2. Make your supply run today or tomorrow at the latest. Wednesday will be crowded. Thursday will be chaos. Step 3. Fill up your gas tank. Even if you're not planning to drive during the storm, you want a full tank. Your car is a backup charging station and emergency heat source if needed. Step 4. Secure outdoor items. Anything that can blow around in wind needs to come inside. Patio furniture, trash cans, decorations. Ice plus wind equals projectiles. Step 5. Protect your pipes. If temperatures are going below 20 degrees, you need to let faucets drip. The tiniest drip prevents pipes from freezing. Frozen pipes burst. Burst pipes cause thousands of dollars in damage. Step 6. Charge everything. Phones, tablets, laptops, battery packs. Charge them all fully Wednesday night. That's your last chance before the storm arrives. Step 7. Know where your family is. If you have kids at college or elderly parents living alone, make sure everyone has a plan. Check in with them. Step 8. Identify your safe room. Pick the room in your house where you'll shelter if power goes out. Preferably interior, smaller, away from windows. Stock it with supplies ahead of time. Step 9. Have a communication plan. Cell towers can go down during ice storms. Have a designated out-of-state contact that everyone calls to check in. Step 10. Monitor the forecast. Things will change over the next few days. Follow local weather services. Watch for official warnings. When warnings are issued, act immediately. Now, I am going to continue updating throughout the week. Tomorrow's video will have updated timing and snowfall forecasts. Wednesday's video will have final preparations. If this storm trends toward the more severe scenarios, I'll go live Friday morning to provide real-time updates. Make sure you resubscribed and notifications are turned on. This is moving fast and information is changing rapidly. One more thing before I go. I've been tracking severe weather for over a decade, and I've learned that the people who fare best are the ones who prepare without panicking. Preparation is not panic. Preparation is responsible. So yes, this storm is serious. Yes, it has the potential to be very impactful, but you have time to prepare. Use that time wisely. The window for action is now, not Friday when the snow is already falling, not Saturday when the ice has already knocked out power. Now, today, this afternoon, go make that supply run. Have those family conversations. Check on your neighbors, especially elderly ones. And remember, comment below with your location. I am going through comments and giving specific timing information for different areas. The more people who know what's coming and when, the better off we all are. This storm is coming. It's not a matter of if anymore. It is a matter of how bad and exactly where. But you can control your preparation. You can control your response. Take this seriously, prepare properly, and you will get through it just fine. All right. That's everything you need to know right now. I'll see you in tomorrow's update with the latest model runs and timing details. Stay safe out there. And seriously, go charge your phone right now. You're going to need it. One final twist before I let you go. The long-range models are hinting at something even bigger potentially developing the first week of February. I am talking another major winter storm possibly affecting the same areas that are about to get hit by this one. It is too early for details, but if you're investing in emergency supplies now, you might need them again in 3 weeks. Stay weather aware, stay prepared.